Hello, my name is Ed Cleveland from the Ed Cleveland Reiki and Sound Therapy Training Center. I'm here today talking about some Tibetan style bowls. I find these very unique because they are multi-vibrational. They come creating different sounds, many harmonics within each other, and you're looking for bowls that have as many sounds as possible. But not only that, learning how to use different mounts, because different mounts will help make different sounds as well. So a typical newer style Tibetan bowl, when rimming it. Now this bowl is vibrating a lot. I'm using the mallet. The mallet has suede on it, so it's grabbing, getting the friction, the cohesion to bring out that sound. But mostly this sound is a male sound. It's a low, deeper sound. If I switch up mallets, you're still hearing the male sound. But now the higher ringing sound is coming out. That's the female sound. And right there in the end was a little bit too much over reverberation. So in learning how to play, you want to work on creating the sounds where you can bring out those male and female sounds, but also be able to change up mallets. It has a low sound, it has a higher ring sound. This is a little bit more female sound. You're still getting the higher sounds. There's a few different high sounds in there. And now you're bringing in a little bit more of the male sound. Just making a male sound, but still working with the female sound that's there. So in working with these bowls, they give different pulse, waves, rhythms, and you end up, as you're learning to play these, you're listening to them. The bowl takes on its own personality. So it'll start working off the container of itself and its own boundaries, because a bowl is basically a standing gong. So a gong, it's bronze, it's shaped, its ring comes around as a bowl. So working in the boundaries of this creates that vibration, which interacts with itself. So when using a combination of mallets, you can create a lot of different sounds. So through the experience and the practice, you want to try to work with creating as many different sounds as you can. So looking for those bowls that have a lot of different sounds or different voices. Learning how to use different mallets to then bring out those different voices. And then working with some kind of a mathematical system to create a simple beat or a rhythm. So if the bowl is already taken on its own rhythm, you want to work with that rhythm. So if you're listening to how it's running or walking, you kind of want to go into their next strike working with that rhythm. If you don't, then you end up muting the bowl and then starting it all over again. So what would be the purpose of get it going, to stop it, to get it going again? So as you're listening to the rhythm, you can start working timing to introduce other instruments or other bowls. So these darker bowls, these are called Wren style bowls. And these project more sound. So in playing a meditation, if I had a lot of the Tibetan style bowls that were more of the male sound, it would be hard for that sound to reach all the way across the room to other people. So therefore I'd want to choose the bowls that create the right type of sound for the area that you're playing with or the people that you're working with. So again, the bowls come in different sounds or different notes. There's also different octaves. So the crystal bowls, these happen to be in the 4th octave. These are in the 4th octave. These are in the 5th octave. And then you can have some that are in the 3rd octave. Or you can have a gong in the 1st octave. So it's basically you're working with a piano. You got all the different 88 notes. The interesting thing about Tibetan style bowls is they work in multi-harmonics or multi-vibrational, so they can actually go into areas that you can't get from a piano. So if you think about the black and white piano key that's right next to each other, there's an infinite amount of sound between there, but we don't normally get to hear that. You can hear that through an instrument like that. There's so many different things happening, which gives you an experience of listening to sounds that you've never heard before. And actually this is very healthy because there's actually a valve on the left side of your ear that falls along the Sylvia Fisher, which is activated through multi-harmonics of Tibetan style bowls, gongs, didgeridoos, things of that nature that open that channel, and that channel takes this high form of mathematical information and sends it to the auditory cortex of your brain, which is your imagination center. So that's why a lot of times people can go to meditations, have their eyes closed, and start to have different daydreams, because you are going into a wake and dream state, which is also one of the other benefits of going to a person that is skillfully played, because you're creating those different sounds that bring the brainwave states down into the wake and dream state, or close to the REM sleep. And colors, sometimes people see colors because color is sound vibration. So if certain colors are a specific sound, and this gong happens to bring out that sound because it's doing so much, certain people can see blues and greens and different colors because, again, they're connecting with the color of the vibration or the hertz that's coming off the gong or the bowl or the bell, which I had. So again, that's information for today. A little bit about Tibetan style bowls. There's many different types. I've been taking classes. There's classes that actually train people up to 500 hours of certified training with Tibetan style bowls, because this is very, very important work. It's very educational, and I'm working with teaching kids how to use these bowls, because it's very important, one, to let kids hear sounds that they never heard for the first time, but something that's so valuable as having so much mathematical information, and especially working with children in the spectrum, which I love. They're so intelligent that our musical scale is too simple. It's very simple. But when you introduce different sounds that's not following a musical protocol, again, this is high form of mathematical information, which now can be understood or be followed, or could hold the attention of someone whose brain activates and works very quickly. So this is something that I love to do. I love to teach. I love to share. I love to have people have the experience. But also, again, I believe that if we can teach our kids some of this information, it'll help learn how to relax them, less stress. There's so much going on in schools with bullying and just the whole stress and everything, that this could help them calm themselves down, and even teach them a skill set for the future. Because when you're learning how to play these, first you're playing them for yourself and learning different ways, and then of course if you're having sounds that feel really good and sound really good, other people want to listen, so that helps bring people in the room. And then you can provide meditation services with the skill that you had learned. And then if you choose to take this even further into some of the different healing arts, again, that's a whole another category. It's much deeper into the process, because again, you're working with a person's energy field, different brainwave states, which is, again, is very important, especially when you're bringing those sounds to that left side of the ear. So again, this helps us get out of the left brain, which is our thinking, our strategizing, and helps us get into the right brain, which is feelings and emotions. Because children live in the right brain until probably about when they go to school. Then they got to figure out how to strategize. So that starts to activate the left brain. And most of us are in the left brain because we're trying to figure out how to get from here to there, how to go through and manage your life and stay on top of everything. And we forget that self-care part, which is that part of having fun and enjoying the experience. So one side of this is giving it a very educational experience to process and to learn. There's a lot of science in this, and the health benefits are just there. You can Google almost any ailment and ask if sound therapy addresses it, and it comes up yes. So these are very, very powerful things, and they're very pleasant and enjoyable for other people to hear. So again, this is what I do. This is what I do to help share with other people, and hopefully they can take it and move forward and help ease pain and suffering of anybody that happens to come to them. So again, my name is Ed Cleveland. Thank you very much for joining me, and hopefully we'll see you soon.